Well, we now have Act 3 upon us, and with that, we also have the new Void Auto Rifle being CHIOR of One. And well, the simple way to get it is, well, you have to do Encore, but in order to unlock Encore, you have to do Acts 1 and 2 of the seasonal storyline in order to have access to the mission. So it's just do the seasonal story and you'll be able to get this thing. And well, starting out with the basics, CHIOR of One is a Void Auto Rifle that is exotic and takes special ammo. And its exotic perk is called Command Frame, where fires extended range, high caliber projectiles at reduced rate of fire, and these deal increased precision damage when going ADS. And the exotic perk as well is Fanatical Lance, where rapid final blows cause things to explode in radial area, fluids, and also have firing and launches projectiles all at once in a moving spread pattern. These projectiles are closer more to a wyvern's projectiles, which, well, I have taken to be a little toxic with them with.
It's the aggression.
How do you like a
Maybe calm it
motherfucker?
down.
How do you like a wyvern, you son of a bitch? Every fucking... How do you like it? Well, one thing I do think we should discuss is, because technically it's a new weapon and weapon archetype, I feel like we should discuss damage as well. So, as well, for minors, this is going to be for ADS damage first, being for crits is 20,913, and body shots is 13,087. A hip fire, each of the projectiles have a blast and an impact damage, but collectively, if you hit it direct on, it does 60,592. Moving on to major targets, and well, for the ADS damage, we have 12,212 for a crit, and a body shot is 7,742. And your hip fire projectiles is the one single projectile can do 35,382 on a direct impact. Keep in mind that these hip fire numbers you have to multiply by 5 because you can fire 5 at one time. So the numbers will be on the screen for both of the hip fire shots. And now, moving on to bosses. This is going to be a fun one, so the rules are, well, like I was going to do with Faithkeeper, is no surges, no artifact mods, no buffs, and only 2 magazines. Hip fire. On landing on fires the unstable, we have 242,612. And then also with the ADS, although I've been unable to get a proper thing for this, we do get 2 numbers here to work with, so we can do math to figure out how much they could do. And these 2 numbers being 11,095 a crit, and also for a body shot is 6,943. Because it has a 25 magazine and each hip and each ADS fire only consumes 1 round, we can multiply that by 50 for the 2 round damage, which, well, for ADSing optimally and hitting all your crits is 554,750, and for pure body shot damage for all 50 rounds is 347,150 total damage. Or, well, if we can put it in a damage rotation, like I've currently playing on the background with someone using a Nova Bomb, a Lost Signal, and Edge Transit for Physra, we can hit around a couple million damage with this thing as a part of a rotational method, because that is basically this thing is good for. And we're not even done discussing the best parts as well. As I said, one of the best parts is, well, it also has basically the origin trait of the weapons of the season, being, well, rapid final blow, spawn pools of radial area, which can do extra damage to targets. So you have an already good ad clear weapon, mixed with a trait that is good at clearing more ads, on top of the fact that, as well, you're basically using a souped up auto rifle, which is absolutely fucking amazing, mind you as well. Which, honestly, I am not going to be surprised if we get more special ammo using primary ammo weapon types, if that makes sense. I mean, we got them last season and this season with the rocket sidearms. I mean, seriously, Buried Bloodline, Indebted Kindness, The Call, and A Beer in Action have seriously risen up in the charts last time I checked the database of how many people use things. But oh no, that is not end yet, because we have not discussed the fact, as said, this weapon is craftable. So we get a selective options of catalyst options here, like our other crafted weapons. And well, we get one currently this week being Subsistence, which, well, Subsistence is good. I'm using this right now and I have fun with it, but I feel like there could be better options. Like, if they replace this with Light from Gold or Rewind rounds, it would definitely be the best weapon in the game, no questions asked. And then probably our next up on the Catalyst chart would be the Stabilizing Rounds, which will probably be out next week at the time I'm recording this. Hopefully get up for the reset. And well, the Stabilizing Rounds, this just needs a buff. Please. Why does Incandescent just exist and Volt Shot has a priority and then the Stabilizing Rounds is a 3-second cooldown? Why do you, like, punish us Void users all the time? Like, we are the most oppressed species. But in a serious note, can we buff the Stabilizing Rounds or just remove its cooldown? Like, I'm sick of this, like, dealing with one of the worst. Come on, you don't need the Stabilizing Rounds. Echo of Instability exists, and so does Facet of Bravery. Literally doing a grenade kill, grant you volatile rounds, you don't need this perk. Or buff it, please. And moving on from that is Onslaught, which, well, this one seems interesting, but my biggest thing is, it's probably going to be more of a mag dumping, or reserves dumping perk, because, well, you are gaining at max, a 30% decrease in firing delay, and, well, let's just say you're going to blow through your ammo already if you're just hip firing this thing. So I don't even want to imagine what it's going to be like with extra fire rate, at least right now. So I guess the overall question is this good? And the answer is should be and could be an obvious yes. Like, to the point where I'm pretty sure this thing is most likely going to get a nerf anytime now. Like, give it until, like, I'd say 2 weeks, this thing's getting nerfed. Like, it is probably going to get a big damage decrease, or at least problems with its ammo count, because this thing just should not exist the way it is right now. Like, there is so many videos of people one-phasing bosses or practically one-phasing them. Like, I literally, with the gameplay in the background, was basically using this thing with the damage rotation, and we almost one-phased Rulk. And there are, like I said, clips of people online, solo, like, one-phasing Fizra, Keitel, and so on and so forth, and other raid bosses and raid and dungeon bosses. Like, this thing should not be this powerful, but I am in love with it being this powerful. Like, for the battle of the game, this thing's gonna get nerfed, but good god, I am wanting to ride this till it gets that inevitable nerf. I mean, honestly, this is Quicksilver at launch all over again for Lightfall. It just is the, why are you not using this weapon? And if you don't have it, and you have the access to it, just grab it, please. You're gonna do yourself a power scaling favor. And well, with me having to cut my descent into madness over there off about this auto rifle being the best slot weapon, we now have the outro, which, well, you already know half the YouTuber buzzword stuff, being likes, comments, subscribing, or sitting around for the yap session, as I'm going to call this from here on out, at the last few minutes, is, well, mostly the main thing y'all gotta request. Mostly, and even then, the watch time is practically all we need, so thanks for sticking around, and I'll probably see whenever I make anything again. It's probably gonna be something I hopefully have been wanting to do for a while now. Perfect, but I just don't know if it's a good idea to keep, like, I want to finish it. It's so massive that I'm probably going to start working on the earlier items, mostly being, well, if you know stuff about him, being the Green Money Weed connection and also his other non-song animations. These being the Aliens one and also things like his actual drawing animations, which I gotta say, I like those little, like, pen and paper ones that are, like, really good. Like, they are very, like, adorable to watch, despite their weird subject matter. But and also I've had my second laser hair session at the time of me recording this, and that has been going well. My transition has been doing stuff, and I'll probably have to figure out either next week or tomorrow, trying to figure out how to potentially, well, start potentially medically, but I'm also trying to think that maybe wait on that a little bit so I can get a few more sessions of lasering, because of one of the effects of, well, because of me being trans femme would be estrogen. Like I said, an estrogen form of HRT would be that the skin would get softer, which could cause the effects of the laser to get even harsher, or at least feel tougher on my skin. basically, I'm just ranting now about trans stuff, aren't I? Well, I'm probably going to get to starting to edit this all together. I have a lot of gameplay of this thing, thankfully, of high-end content as well, so that will be fun. I'm going to go, like I said, now to my editing dungeon, so I will see everyone later, because I'm going to have that left, and that is it for me. Alright, now have a good night, or whatever time it is, honestly. I'm recording these things normally late at night anyway, so, yeah, I am